We got a bit of a fright yesterday when the central bank hiked the repo rate to 50 basis points. You're not alone. The expectation certainly was it was going to be 25 basis points, but it is 50. That's what it's gone up by. It's all due to rising inflation. Well, the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group tracks food price data across the country. Let's take a look at their latest Household Affordability Index, and we're joined by the organization's coordinator, Mervyn Abrahams, back with us this morning. Hello to you, Mervyn. So we'll talk about the food basket and what the index is looking like in a moment, but I don't imagine a 50 basis points increase for interest rate is going to be doing anybody any favors when it comes to affordability.
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to all your viewers. Exactly as you've said. Gareth, what we are expecting is that this financial crisis that households have been experiencing in South Africa since actually COVID has only just been deepened with this extra 50% basis points. In the current context. And so we are extremely unfortunate and disappointed in what the Reserve Bank has done. It has not brought down inflation, and we do not believe a 50% basis point in any case will bring down inflation. In 3 months from now, we're expecting the governor to again say that inflation is out of control.
Yeah, the expectation there, Mervyn, about 25 basis points come May of this year, but we also were expecting 25 basis points yesterday as well. So now it's the highest it's been in 13 years, the highest interest rate we've had in 13 years. Just give me an idea then, when you look at this affordability basket, I see it's going to cost more than 40 Rand to buy exactly the same thing. So what big number are we looking at? It must be getting close to nearly 5,000 Rand, surely?
So yes, Gareth. I mean, we track, of course, as you know, the cost of a basket of food consisting out of 44 very basic foods like rice and maize meal and potatoes and onions and chicken, etc. No luxuries in the basket. And now this basket at the end of March stands at 4,966. Again, an increase over last month of about 37 Rand, and now 516 Rand increase over the past year. So we've seen food price inflation just escalates. No matter what the Reserve Bank does with interest rates, it just keeps on going higher and higher and higher.
It's important as well for viewers that are looking at this and going, well, it's only 40 Rand, it's only 50 Rand, but we're talking about incomes and households, aren't we, Mervyn, where 40 Rand can make a big difference to them. They're only able to afford the very basics. There's no such things as fizzy drinks and takeaways, etc. These are households where every 50 Rand makes a big difference. And I'm glad you mentioned COVID, Mervyn, because I want to ask you, if I recall correctly, wasn't the Competition Commission going to investigate food prices?
So during COVID, they did do spot check investigations. They have just announced that they will do investigation on a number of foods, such as bread and maize meal and some fruits and vegetables. We welcome the Competition Commission. In fact, we believe that there is more likelihood that food prices will come down as a result of what the Competition Commission is doing rather than what the Reserve Bank is doing, in order to begin to see where these increases are in the value chain and whether those increases are in fact justified. Because we have seen global commodity prices of food come down. We have seen food price, basic input costs in some of these foods come down, and yet we are not seeing a corresponding decrease at the level of the retail store.
Let's talk numbers for specific products for a second, if we don't mind, because you mentioned now the Competition Commission looking into all kinds of food prices, but you mentioned bread, for example. Potatoes is another staple food for many households that are in this income bracket as well. Do you have any numbers to give me a sense of what has potatoes gone up by? What has carrots gone up by? Maize meal, for example. Can you break it down for us?
Yes. So when we look at, for instance, 10 kgs of potatoes over the last year, Gareth, it has increased by 52%. In March last year, it was 63 Rand. In March of this year, it is 97 Rand. Now, with vegetables, there is also a seasonality connected to it. You can only grow it in certain times of the year. And so there are natural spikes in that process, but the spike is extremely high. The same go for onions. 10 kgs of onions has increased by something like about 67%. A year ago, it was 72 Rand. Today, it is 120 Rand. When we look, for instance, at bread, 25 loaves of brown bread, a year ago was 323 Rand. Today, it is 377 Rand. So when we compare, for instance, the 350 social grant of relief, it's clear you can't even buy with that so you receive. So this is the level. Maize meal has increased.
Mervyn, forgive me, I'm going to jump in very quickly. Let me just interrupt. I'll tell you why. That was such an important comment you were making, and we lost your connection. Go back to the point you were making about the social income grant. You were comparing bread prices and social income grant. Just to restart that for me. I don't want to lose that information quickly.
Yes, so Gareth, as I said, 25 loaves of bread cost about 323 Rand last year. It now costs 368 Rand this year, 25 loaves of brown bread. Now, when you compare that to the social grant, the social relief grant of 350, if you get that grant, you cannot even buy a loaf of bread each day of the month because you'll only be able of bread with.
Mervyn, we are losing on the audio, but I'm glad I got you to repeat that as well, because I think it's an important point for us to take this conversation forward. I'll leave it there. The line is giving up on us, Mervyn, but I definitely got your point. I'm sure everyone watching got your point as well. Mervyn Abrahams making such an interesting comparison right towards the end as we were starting to lose the audio. Mervyn Abrahams from the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group. He's the coordinator for it. And what he was saying is that 25 loaves of bread per year is going to cost you 368 Rand. It's not even really enough when you look at a 350 Rand social relief of distress grant. So you